What's up guys, Groovy Guitar Dude here with a beginner guitar tutorial for Into Yesterday by Sugar Ray. If this video helps you out, hit that like and subscribe button and let me know in the comments down below what are the songs by Sugar Ray that you want to learn on guitar. And guys, Into Yesterday is actually my second song for Guitar Goddess and I's Summer Strummin 2021 series that we're doing. So if you want to learn more about how you can win this guitar and get involved with Summer Strummin 2021, check out the description and pinned comment for more details. Guys, the first thing you want to know to play Into Yesterday on guitar is that in order to get rid of some bar chords and keep this song as beginner friendly as possible, we're going to capo up to 4th fret. And if you don't have a capo, I'll have a link to get this capo for free right up here. The next thing that you want to know to play Into Yesterday on guitar is the structure of this song. We're going to start with the verse, then go to pre-chorus, then chorus, then verse, pre-chorus, chorus again, and then we're going to finish up the song with one last chorus. And the last thing that you want to know before we dive into Yesterday is the 6 chords that you need to play this song. The first one is G, the next one is C, the next one is D, the next one is E minor, the next one is A minor 7, and the last one is B minor 7. And I'll have a short chord tutorial linked in the pinned comment below for each of those chords for those of you who need them. And with all that in mind, guys, let's dive into Yesterday. Guys, this is one of my all-time favorite songs, and I thought it'd be a lot of fun to share this one with you guys right as we're getting into summer. Super fun to play and very beginner-friendly as well. So with that in mind, guys, the first thing that we're going to take a look at for Into Yesterday is what we're playing for our verses and our choruses. So pretty much the entire song except for our pre-choruses. For our verses and our choruses, we're just going to have one chord progression. That's going to be G, A minor 7, B minor 7, and then back to A minor 7. And again, that's going to repeat through all of our verses and our choruses, so pretty much the whole entire song. Now, this chord progression sounds really cool on its own, but what really makes this song is what we're playing for the strum pattern. And this strum pattern is actually going to be repeated through the whole entire song. So even the other chord progression we're going to go over for our pre-choruses in a little bit, we'll use this strum pattern as well. Same strum pattern through the whole song. So what we're going to be doing for each of our strum pattern, or each of our chords, the strum pattern for each of our chords, is going to be this. We'll use our G chord as our example. We're going to do a down strum, and then we're going to do an up down, and then we're going to do a down up, and then we're going to do up down, which may sound really weird all slowed down, but when you speed that up, it's about like this. Just about like that. And that should sound really familiar if you're familiar with this song, because it totally encapsulates that feel of the song. This song kind of has like it's not quite a reggae feel, but it's kind of that feel a little bit, and it's in that direction. This is a Cali reggae band. If you're familiar with the band, Sugar Ray, probably are, but this is kind of their feel. It's got that kind of like Cali reggae vibe a little bit, and it's just a lot of fun. I love it. I love songs like this. They're so fun to play. It's got that bouncy strum pattern. Now, a key to this strum pattern is actually to apply some muting and some chucking if you're able to. If you don't know what muting and chucking are, all that is basically just when you mute the notes in between certain strums, so that way it kind of gives it a little bit more of a percussive feel. Now, if you'll notice that strum pattern that we just went over is kind of spaced out, and I also kind of, when we were walking through it, phrased it that way because those are some really good natural spaces in that strum pattern where you can add some muting and chucking. Now, there's various ways to add muting and chucking. If you're a beginner, one way is to kind of mute the strings, to softly rest your fingers right there on your fretting hand. Just softly rest them on the strings, don't push down, and strum, and you get some of that muted notes there. Another way to do that is palm muting, where you take the soft part of your strumming hand right here and rest it on your strings while you're actually strumming to get that kind of muted, muffled sound. And if you add some of that in those spots in between those little parts of the strum pattern, it'll add a lot to this and really get that feel. So a really good little example of that would be about like this. Again, just using our G chord, going through the strum pattern, but adding a little bit of this flavor in, looks about like this. It'd be kind of like that. That wasn't perfect, but that's about what you're looking for, is kind of some of that muting and some of that chucking and percussiveness, and it adds so much to the song, especially because for most of this song, we're just repeating the same thing through the whole thing, this chord progression and strum pattern, except for our pre-choruses. So nothing too crazy here, guys. Simple chord progression, fairly simple strum pattern that you can also make more complex if you want to, but a little walkthrough of what that strum pattern and chord progression will look like for our verses and choruses is about like this. Start with our G chord. We're going to go down, up, down, up, down, and then A minor 7, down, up, down, down, up, down, B minor 7, down, up, down, up, down, back to A minor 7, down, up, down, up, down. Just about like that, repeated throughout all of our verses and our choruses. So with that in mind, guys, a couple of times through the chord progression and strum pattern, it's gonna repeat through all of our verses and our choruses on Into Yesterday. Will look about like this without me talking. Finally, guys, the only other thing you should know to play Into Yesterday on guitar is what we're playing for our pre-choruses. For our pre-choruses, we have a very simple chord progression, and the same strum pattern that we just used for our choruses and our verses, we're going to use for our pre-choruses as well. So the chord progression for our pre-choruses is going to be C, D, G, E minor, and then we're going to repeat that again, but we're only going to play through half of it. So we're going to go C, D, and then that D chord will lead us into our choruses. And we only play through that whole thing right up there one time, just once for each pre-chorus. Pretty simple and straightforward. And again, we're using that same exact strum pattern that we just used for our verses and choruses. We're using that for our pre-chorus as well. So a little guided walkthrough of what that whole chord progression with that strum pattern will look like is about like this. Start with the C chord. We'll go down, up, down, down, D, down, up, down, down, G, down, up, down, down, E minor, down, up, down, down. And then we're gonna go to that bottom line, C, D, just about like that, and that's going to lead us straight into our choruses. So like I said, guys, that only plays through once for each pre-chorus, but whenever we do our playthrough here in just a second, I'm going to play through it a handful of times so that you can make sure that you have all the right stuff in all the right places. So with all that in mind, guys, a couple of times through the chord progression and strum pattern, it's going to play once through on our pre-choruses for Into Yesterday. Will look about like this without me talking. Guys, that is everything that you need to know to play Into Yesterday on guitar. As always, if you have any questions, you can hit me up in the comments down below. I'm usually pretty quick getting back to those. And again, if this video helped you out, hit that subscribe button. I have about 850 other guitar and ukulele lessons on this channel. I usually try to post at least 3 to 5 new lessons every single week. So if you're learning guitar or ukulele, there cannot be a more perfect channel for you to check out. If you want to see a sneak peek of what songs I'm working on next, be sure to hit up my Instagram @thegroovyguitardude. Link for that will be in the description below. Guys, you want to support the channel and get your name in the credits at the end of each new guitar tutorial, you can hit up my Patreon at patreon.com/thegroovyguitardude. Link for that will be in the description below as well. Guys, Into Yesterday is not only one of my favorite summer songs, but also one of my all-time favorite songs. Like I said, I just love the feel of this one. I've loved this song for a long time. I actually first found this song because it's in a movie called Surf's Up, and it's an animated kids movie about surfing penguins, which that may not sound like your thing, but it's totally my thing. And I love it. It's one of my all-time favorite movies. And part of it is because of the soundtrack. I love that movie because it has a killer soundtrack, especially just for a kid's movie. So if you haven't seen Surf's Up, be sure to go check it out because it's a great movie, especially if you're into surfing, or especially if you're just into that kind of vibe. In general, it's a great kids movie. If you got kids, watch it with your kids. Or if you're a kid at heart, watch it because it's a great movie just in general. But anyways, that's where I found this song, and it's a great, great song. It's just got a great summer feel. I can't help but smile when I'm listening to this one because it's just got such a just great fun feel. And the guitar for this song is also very beginner friendly. Like I said, you can add some of those more advanced techniques like the chucking and like the muting to just give it a little bit more of a percussive feel and a little bit of a variety and put your own little flavor on it, but you don't have to. You can just play that chord progression or those chord progressions just straight out, just with the strum patterns, and it'll sound awesome and it'll match up perfectly with the song as well. So guys, I had a lot of fun learning and teaching this song. I hope you guys have a lot of fun learning it as well, and I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see y'all soon.